Hello bad publicity fans, this is Mark from My Size Hedge Fund and we're back with the Decklist of the week, this time from Shishonk. This is On The Go, a Blue Sun deck with Off The Grid, and of course the usual shenanigans that go along with that, which is Chrysium Grid and Mushin Notion. As with all Blue Sun decks, you're looking to get an Oversight AI off nice and early. You have a couple of different targets for it, like Curtain Wall, DNA Tracker is even pretty good, plus it gives that fear factor that it's somewhere on the board, and you've Orion as well, so some nice big beefy and valuable ice to look at. This deck is all about the off the grid Chrysium Grid combo, but at the same time they say that you shouldn't dilly-dally around. You can protect your HQ pretty well with just a couple of Marimatis that will actually cost the runner quite a bit to get through both the pieces of ice, then trash Chrysium, then run it again, and then be finally able to go over to the scoring server, which probably doesn't have that much of a defense on it. So it basically means you don't have to wait around for DNA trackers and curtain walls and this mammoth server on HQ. You can kind of go a bit lighter on ice once it's costing them a bit. In terms of agendas, you're looking at smaller agendas, so no government takeover here, but you do have corporate sales team, which gets you money for scoring it. Oaktown renovation, which is just a fantastic agenda, probably one of Wayland's best agendas. Project Atlas, because it just lets you search for whatever you want when you overscore it, because let's face it, you probably are going to overscore it, especially if you can motion it out. And global food as well, because obviously it's one of the best defensive upgrades in that it's only worth 2 points to the runner. So we're going to try it out. It has a couple of different strategies, as you can see. Definitely worth reading the write-up just to see how this deck should be approached. And let's get into a game and see how we get on. So we find ourselves up against Omar, and that is going to be a tricky one for us, I think. We find ourselves with Marimatis and Big Ice nice and early, so I think we keep this. But Omar's ability kind of makes things a little trickier. The off-the-grid combo is going to be a bit more difficult to pull off because they have that versatility of run archives and then pop over here. It means that we're going to be putting Orion or Curtain Wall over here, shoring up HQ with a couple of good pieces of ice, excuse me, and R&D maybe left a little more fragile. So I'm curious to see what kind of Omar this is. There's a really good deck running around at the moment with count siphons, so we got to watch out for that. I think we stick this on HQ. We could put this on HQ as well, but they're probably going to get to trash it pretty early. Let's put Orion on R&D, even though it does nothing. And do we bother putting Chrysium? I'm going to put Chrysium on HQ just in case they do like a DDoS siphon combo or something like that. Even if they run via archives and get to it and trash it, at least it sets them back 5 credits. Maybe not the best way to go about it. Maybe it's better to keep it in hand, but we'll see how it pans out. So Omar is going to get his pick of servers. He makes it HQ. Going to get to Chrysium. And I'm probably going to trash the Chrysium as well. So perhaps we should have kept it in hand. I'm unsure. Yep, this definitely looks like the account siphon deck that won a game like it, but I can't remember where. But I played Queen's Gambit, which I also trashed quite a lot. Obelus, because it allows you to float tags a little bit more, plus combines very well with Medium. Day Job's just really good for getting money if you don't think the corp is in a rush, which we often aren't. So we're not getting closer to, oh dear, to getting off our restructures. And a food into hand is not what we wanted. So I'm pretty sure they're playing Siphon, even more so because how enthusiastic they were to trash Chrysium Grid at the very start. But we'll see what we can do in terms of defense. Okay. Oh, wow. That's a good pick. So not getting the start we wanted. We haven't found an Oversight AI or consulting visit to use it. Instead we're finding Big Ice that we cannot use. We'll put this on archives for the moment. We can res it and bounce it. And put a curtain wall there later. At least next turn we'll be able to get our restructures going. And then we can work on getting this resed, getting some scores of our own. Food is not the agenda you want to see early. Corporate sales team would have been a good one for us. But alas, it is now sitting in the runner score area. Day job. So, consulting visit finally. The question is one of these 4 cards going to absolutely destroy our Orion? It also makes it less good. So we could just, if we dawdle some more, they could be in a position to deal with it, but this is guaranteed money. Yeah, I think we just go with the double restructure instead. And see where they're at. So not afraid of dying apparently, which Obelisk is pretty good for. And keeping up with us in the money race. So paperclip costs them 4 and then costs them 9. I think we have to try. It's one of those situations where the longer things go on, the less good things get. Now, it does mean they have pretty free and easy access to the rest of our servers. But I think we have to push them here. If we can get this scored, it puts us in a decent position. A bit more money, plus 2 points, which is what we need. So I've had worse. Possibly looking for David. Paperclip, of course, could work out pretty well. They're going to take a look to see what they're dealing with before they commit to an install. Seems wise. And Siphon. Well, at least we can cut that out with the Marimati. Fantastic piece of ice. And coming to the rescue here as well. So we'll bounce the curtain wall, get ourselves up in money and a couple of points. We can actually stop them here as well, so let's do just that. And we can still afford to score out here. Really forces them to actually find what they're looking for. So they're not getting a free draw off us here. Trashing Vamp. Interesting. Was not expecting that. And we find ourselves a Cobra. So I want to put Marimati on HQ. I'll put the Cobra on archives. The trash program doesn't do anything for us at the moment. Yes, Black Orchestra. Interesting to get rid of Spoon as well. So DNA tracker is going to cost a lot of money to hit the first time round, and then you have to spoon it. Day job as well. So their hand must be pretty good. I'm going to bounce Maramati, get the mentor draw. There's our oversight. So I think I'm actually going to protect this here with maybe Cobra. It doesn't end the run, but it can catch them out. This is quite expensive for Black Orchestra as well. 3 to install. What's the math on this again? So 3 to install, be 3, 6 to boost, plus another 3. Maybe Maramati instead. So let's do that. Let's install this on R&D, I suppose. And do we put something on HQ? Do we put this on archives? Let's go archives. We might get to ping them for a little bit of damage as well. So they are fishing. Gotten rid of 2 spoons at least. Same old things are out. But as I say, it's going to cost them a lot of money to actually use these things. Another oversight. Keeping it protected is going to cost us. I think we just prepare ourselves. Could put this on HQ as a deterrent. It's not that exciting. I think we just take money. Maybe we should have installed one here. But food is not the agenda that I want to be scoring out this early on. So there's paperclip at least. And the siphon comes in. So I was humming and hawing over curtain wall and HQ. Probably should have done it. Doesn't actually hurt us that much. The vamp is the thing we gotta watch out for. But we can take out the same old thing here anyway. And then we just gotta watch out for one more. So curtain wall will cost them 9 credits to get through. Not great, but it'll be okay for us, I think. Yeah, let's res this. Means I can just bounce it over at least. So we can put it here. It'll cost... Wow, it's just the greatest picks that you could possibly have. So, DNA tracker, they did not see. So, let's put this on HQ. They will be able to survive it, or they will be able to break it, I should say. But yeah, this seems alright. Now, unfortunately, we cannot res Orion because it's much easier for paperclip to break. So we'll force them to reinstall their paperclip at least, and we'll hit them for 2 damage. So not the worst thing in the world, but not great. And on current track record, they will probably pick the global food, or they'll get something off the top of R&D. Knifed and Deja Vu. I'm okay with this. This is pretty good for us. Okay, this time they whiff. Inject. So they lose Mimic, they lose Medium, they lose Data Sucker, Demolition Run, but they have another Mimic. Okay. Lucky. Could have been so close to getting shot out by a simple Cobra. Yeah, I'll res this because it's the last click. They'll have to spend an absolute fortune to get out their Black Orchestra, break every subroutine as well. It's going to cost them 9. It's pretty awful. Or they can let one subroutine fire, of course, is the other thing. So there is a bit of confusion over how Black Orchestra works, especially with DNA Tracker. Because you're boosting 2/6 and breaking up to 2 subroutines, but it's only on it raising its strength to 6 that you actually get to break the subroutines, which means there's still another subroutine left. So unfortunately you have to boost it another 3 to break the last of it. Okay, so instead they're going to take a damage and lose 2 credits instead. Hit a vamp and lose 2. So trading a card for credit, basically. But they get Jackson, so not a bad trade-off. Now they are very poor. So we have a good chance to install advance. This leaves us just enough. But I think it's our best possible time, so we're gonna go for it. I'm kind of banking on them not being able to get in everywhere else. Inject. Unfortunately, they get the siphon. But they lose both mediums, and that it puts them in a trickier spot than they would have liked, because it combines very well with Obelus. It's just a good card in its own right, especially when other things are starting to lock you out a little bit. We don't really need to bump anything. We will be trashing something. Mother Goddess looks the most likely. Or a curtain wall. Do we need both? This will cost them 3 credits to get through. Yeah, I think we get rid of this for the moment. Next turn we can oversight curtain wall. Now that looks like less of an option. We could sacrifice curtain wall if we really wanted to. It's not a great idea, but it's a possibility. Alternatively, we could overside it, put Mother Goddess out front. Means it's only 6 strength. It's not great for us either. I think Mother Goddess out here might actually be better, because we can protect with a spoon, or from a spoon, if needs be. We don't necessarily have to res it, but it could be good to have in our back pocket. I'm not completely opposed to putting Jackson in as well, just in case. And the siphon comes. That's okay. We can weather the storm. We're not really banking on resin this anyway. And it is expensive for them to break everything as well. 4 to install, it's going to cost them 6 to get through. They'll break even, and they do cost us 5, which is more what it's about at this stage. So we kind of need to get our Chrysium back for more reasons than one. And then probably need curtain wall on archives. So we're not going to res that, obviously, but we will get our Jackson and pop it. Send back Chrysium, which is very important, Jackson, and I think hedge fund. Just for that bounce back ability. I'd love to see a paywall implementation right about now. Or in reality, at any time during this game would have been nice, because they've been running a fair bit. Now they will get taxes. What is that, 90% of the time it works every time? Those R&D picks have been pretty potent. So, Mushin Noshin, but nothing to use it with. Oversight is risky. Well, actually, it's not even risky. It is downright madness. Interns. That works. So we can interns Chrysium. But we need to get protection there. So we're getting there. Slowly but surely. We want to get our Chrysium back. We need to get it off the grid. But we do need to make everything expensive. So they can get in once via archives and trash, which at the moment will cost them 2-7. Deja vu, probably siphon. Yep. And unfortunately, we're not packing Scorch, because at the moment they haven't really taken advantage of the fact that they have a much bigger hand size. So perhaps left it a turn too late to get the Chrysium back. But I think at the moment we're just weathering the storm. And then we'll be okay. So we've seen 2 deja vus now. All 3 siphons. One same old thing. Let's see if they got another great pick. Okay. Oh, the first time, yes. Cobra, not doing a lot, but still kind of tipping away. It seems like a bad idea. They can credit, run. It will bankrupt them, but is that wise? Now is probably as good a time as we're going to get. Not delighted about it. Maybe it should have just gone on a new server. I'm not sure. See, we've hit that phase now where we've probably durdled too long. Getting this last agenda could be very, very tricky. If they've hit any economy here, our curtain wall is sunk. Alternatively, take 3, go. Yeah, seems like the best option. Oh, this is unexpected. Well, we got away with that. And now we find our Christian grid. So we're getting into a much, much better spot. Pop this onto HQ. Put this on archives and take a credit. And now we have the interns as well. So starting to get to a position that we need to be in. Omar. Yeah, let's tax them. 'Cause then we can interns. So we're kind of hoping they do go through here. Cost them 9. 2 more. They won't be able to get through the Chrysium. Or they won't be able to kill the Chrysium, that is. So they're going to leave it. Now, unfortunately, we're going to spend a lot of time bouncing this back. This is also good. Okay, so we need to keep it in hand, though. And unfortunately, they can afford to wait, which is the issue here? So HQ costs them 6, and then 5, 11, or 11, and then 5. So more than likely they go this way. 6, 11, then they go back again, just 17. So we do have to keep an eye out for that. Plus we have to be able to res off the grid for 6, this for 14, 20, 23. And that is where we start to run into difficulties. So it's a tight point at this stage. We need them to make a run. They're going to deja vu for medium. So we are hoping that they go for a run here. Amped up, they lose rumor mill. Get the medium down. But too poor to run anything. So this is the turn that we're looking for. If we draw an agenda, I feel pretty good about things. Except this is still rather expensive. Could bounce Cobra. So it looks like they're just going to let things fire. Let's at least make them spend some money. I think we bounce Cobra. Because he's only doing 2. Which would bring this down to costing 9 to get through. But that's not bad for us. Then, if we take one more turn, I need to check one thing. How many oversights do we have in this deck? I believe 3. 3 oversight. So we can consulting visit the oversight to get over here. And they're just going to take a face full of damage here, it seems. But all they're looking for is one agenda. This seems like the Hail Mary play. So they're going to have one card left in hand. Okay, they didn't manage it. So now we're just looking for an agenda, but we need to find it first. They can't afford too many runs like that because they don't have the cards for it. We may have weathered the storm here. Let's bounce the Cobra. Entry draw. We can subliminal. We can consulting visit over here. And that should get us where we need to be. There. And take a credit maybe? So we've weathered the storm, we'll have a curtain wall resed. Everything's become incredibly expensive for them. And then we just need to find an agenda. If they don't run here, all our money problems are sorted. Okay, we will get Subliminal back. We will also get Orion back. And now we're just looking for an agenda. Cyberdex is not quite what we wanted. So where is more secure? At the moment, HQ is probably the least secure, so I think we chill out for a bit. Don't try and overdraw too much. Stick this into R&D. And in actual fact, we can build a server, which might be the smartest way to go about it. We could put the off-the-grid in behind. Which could be kind of funny. We have enough to res everything. We have the interns if needs be. But at least we can force the run into this as well. If not, we have it good to go for the next time around, where hopefully we'll find an agenda. And we do have enough to res both this and curtain wall, which is very, very important. Yeah, I will res this to keep them out. I may actually res the off the grid, because if I do find an agenda, I think no, I can just install, take credits, and have this ready to go. So please find an agenda. We will just draw. Nope. So let's dig for an agenda. Draw. Nope. If we draw, they could take it out of here. They need 9 to get in here. Suddenly feeling a bit nervous about R&D. So if they try and take 2 and run, thinking that they can use Data Sucker, we can res this. If they take 3 and run, then unfortunately there's nothing we can do, but we can stop Medium from running out of control. We should nearly interns Chrysium. Oh no, we don't have Chrysium. If we can find a second Chrysium, putting it on archives may not be the worst thing in the world. Shut down his sneak door. Moment of truth. Huh. Same old thing. Same old knifed on HQ. Alright. So if they pay... Yeah, that's fine. That's okay. Very glad I didn't draw cards into HQ now. So we can pop an ice of choice up top here. We have the Chrysium ready to go. Nope. So we're basically draw, install agenda. That is the worst agenda to get. So we just install this in server 3. Raise off the grid. This is a disaster. So this costs them 3 and then 5. Yeah, things were poorly timed for us. Get rid of one of the missions at least. At least they're on 0 credits. That's kind of our only saving grace here. I don't think they can get back in time. So where can they get to? I think the fact that they ran HQ is all that has saved us here. We still have enough to res the cyber decks, so we can make this still expensive. So at the very least it costs them 1 and then 5 for this. But yeah, that is going to be the end of it. I don't think they had enough time for it. It would have been close. They could have gotten 4 credits. No, they wouldn't have had enough. I think it was the run on HQ that cost them it. I think what they needed to do was just save up, just run through R&D. R&D is probably where the game's going to be won and lost. Thankfully found our cyberdecks, but agendas were hard to come by. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. It took a little bit longer than we thought or hoped. Unfortunately, they got the agendas we would have liked early. Our economy was struggling a little bit at times, but we managed to weather the storm of Omar and win it out in the end. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.